Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. Now it's real time, sponsored by the Mill Casino.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video clip there, but we're going to talk with Mike Laffey. He was there on the boat with us while we were chasing some fish around with Sharky's Charters. And Michael is the guy that we have had a chance to really embrace. Michael, I'm going to tell you right now, we miss you, man. We haven't seen you since the middle of July. That was so much fun, and we really appreciate you putting us up like that.
Hey, you know what? We had a great time when your whole crew came down, and we got to see a bunch of different things out there on the water. We got to see some of your crew on their hands and knees. It was a good time.
Poor Robbie. Poor Robbie. He had a rough time, everyone. Now, Michael doesn't have that problem. He is as salty as it gets. He's been chasing salmon longer than he can remember, and having that kind of passion about fishing is one of the reasons why you had hooked up with Sharky, because you want to be able to give that to your patrons, to your customers that come in. There's a lot of options that are going on there at the Mill Casino, and yesterday was one of the big ones, was the Brawl on the Bay. Now, there's a lot of people in this area that love MMA fighting. This is where they can go and watch it for real.
Yeah, you know, you always hear me saying it's a great day on the bay, and I say that all the time. Well, yesterday was a great night for a fight. It was an incredible day. We went out on the back deck and built an outdoor octagon, surrounded it with 800-900 seats. We had people from all over the Pacific Northwest. We had 11 great fights, very, very entertaining. We had the beginners all the way up to 3 professional fights that were extremely entertaining. And that's one of those things like hockey. I mean, you can watch it on TV and it's pretty cool, but until you see it up close and personal, man, that is a completely different sport when it's live.
Now, is this going to be a continuing thing with the Mill Casino?
Yeah, you know, that was our first time, and the first time for an outdoor fight in Southern Oregon, because you just like fishing, you know, that's an awful lot of work to have it rain on you, you know. So, you know, we'll see if we could pull another 75-degree day with no wind. I don't know. The light was shining bright on us yesterday. It was lucky with the weather. And these fighters had the time of their life fighting in front of all those people right there with the view of the bay the whole time, and having had a whole bunch of people pull up and not want to buy a ticket and just sit there in their boat and watch for free.
Oh, no, okay, I get that too. Yeah, you can sit in the boat, hang out, and watch the fight from a distance. I get it.
And we encouraged it. Come on out in your boat. That makes it more fun.
Absolutely. I get it 100%. And that's kind of what I learned from Michael, is that's how his mind kind of works. He wants everybody to enjoy themselves. And it goes in a number of different ways. But what I really took away from the Mill Casino when I had a chance to be there, Michael, was the facilities, the rooms. The folks got a chance to see where I was staying, but give everybody an idea of the size and how long or how far in advance, really, that they should try and reserve their rooms so they can go experience this as well.
Well, I tell you what, you're definitely going to need to be a couple weeks in advance in the summertime. We see over 1 million guests a year at the Mill Casino, and a great deal of those are between July and September, as you might imagine.
Sure.
So weekends in the summertime are going to be tough. With the golf courses that we have down here, the dunes, the ocean, obviously, and everything else that the forest has to offer, we get pretty busy in the summer. But if you give yourself 10 days, 2 weeks, you should be able to get in there.
What's it like in the off season? You know, say other than the summertime.
So the off season, it gets a little slower. We still stay busy down here, but there's other things to do. We've got one of the nation's largest Christmas lights display here in December, where they drape up a couple 100,000 lights in the state park.
Wow.
Storm watching has become a good thing. I mean, when we're out there trying to cross the bar, we certainly don't want to see 30-footers coming in there, but in the wintertime, it's really fun to go sit there and watch them come in and hit those rocks.
Oh, no doubt. Storm watching is, we actually did a couple of shows in the past about storm watching and giving folks other options when they're heading over there, not just to go fishing or whatever else. But there's no question there's a large contingent of people that love doing that. Coos Bay be a great spot for it because it's just beautiful there. One of the things that I fell in love with, and I know that you have communications with them in some way, but with Spin Reel off-road, I had never had a chance to run the dunes, which is one of the big attractions there in the Coos Bay area. We will absolutely be back there just specifically to do that. And that's a big draw as well, just going out and enjoying the dunes. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the dunes is full all the time, and it keeps our campground full all summer long with people with their big toy haulers and everything that come down to enjoy that. And I'm really glad that you and your family got to experience that, because you could fish just about anywhere up and down the coast, but dunes that's really specific to us here in Coos Bay.
Yeah.
And until you've been out there and looked up at those hundreds and hundreds of feet of pure sand in front of you, you really enjoy the horsepower that Spin Reel provides you when you're out there going up those hills.
God, you hit it right on the head. I mean, I've been running around on Polarises and Can-Ams since they were conceived, right? Back in the day when they were just four-wheelers, when they first came out. But to see the kind of equipment that they have and how you can enjoy these dunes, folks, and you've seen the video that we ran, that we filmed when my wife and I and Lana were out there running around. It's just one of the funnest things, and I'm going to absolutely recommend with Spin Reel that you do the follow-along tour. I know that some folks are like, I want to go on my own. Let me tell you, they have some of the best guides, and the way that they can just make sure that you're safe, doing things the right way, is worth every penny. It was better than a day at Disneyland, in my own opinion. I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal. But I can't overlook the food, okay? The food there every day was awesome. And we didn't even get to experience your main restaurant. Is that back open yet?
No, the main restaurant is going to be closed for several months as we build the new distillery and tasting room right there on the water.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Tell us about that. I know that here in the Northwest, and Michael, you've been doing this a long time, you know exactly what we love here in the Northwest, and distilleries are one of them, and wine is certainly at the top of that list. What do you guys got coming for everyone that might want to get out there?
We spent the last couple of years working with the OLCC and some other divisions of government here in Oregon to overturn a law that disallowed tribes to distill their own liquor products. And so we signed that agreement back in late spring, and that's when we shut down the restaurant, and they're starting to get construction ready. And by the time you get down here next time, you'll be pouring yourself a glass of cocoa whiskey or vodka or whatever we have coming out, all going to be locally sourced. And we kind of figured that other folks had a handle on breweries and had a handle on wine, but distilleries are something that's not everywhere in Oregon, but certainly has a place for the taste that our travelers want to have for something local.
I would absolutely agree with that. And if you've never been to the Mill Casino, Coos Bay in general, you don't have to go there to go fishing. You don't need to go there to go golfing. You can go there to go play in the sand, but there's a number of different things that you can do with your family. I mean, it's not just that. And of course, the casino. And obviously, that's your biggest draw.
Yeah, the casino, like I said, sees roughly 1 million guests a year. Some of them are fishermen, some of them are golfers, some of them are coming down here to get ready for really, really hot elk hunting.
Hey, he's an elk hunter too, everyone. I love it because he knows. He just knows everything.
The shorts and tank top elk hunting is not my favorite kind to do, but yeah, so there's a lot of different reasons to come down here. One of my favorite, I still have family up there in Washington, and when they come down, they just take the 101 the whole way. When you're retired and you have time, that's part of the trip too. Just going down and seeing every little village and marina on the way down here is a great deal of fun as well.
Now, for me, coming from Oregon City, I obviously came down I-5 and then shot over. I could go through one of my favorite towns there is, Elkton, and see some just beautiful country. Saw some turkeys and saw some elk too, by the way, over there at the viewing area. So there, again, everyone, there's just a ton of options, a lot of things that you can do. But Mike, before we run out of time here, can we make sure that we let everybody know what you'd like to get out there? Any final thoughts that we can make sure that we're aware of?
The second weekend in September, the tribe celebrates the return of the fish. And so we have a salmon celebration where we cook hundreds and hundreds of fish on the old stick and fire way. It's a great big cultural event. We invite all the tribes from the Pacific Northwest. We have canoe races and everything. So the salmon celebration is coming up, and that really is the final big summer thing that we do. And it's a real fun cultural thing to watch the people that have stewarded that fishery for thousands of years before we were chasing them to celebrate the return of the fish.
Very, very cool. I mean, just options up and down the list, everyone. There's just a ton of different things to do. And to be very honest with you, from my perspective, I honestly didn't realize how close Coos Bay actually was, Michael. It took me 3 hours to get there, and dealing with I-5, that's nothing. And to spend a couple of days there was fantastic. I can't wait to get back there again. When should I come back? When's the next big time that we should be there?
Oh, you can come down anytime, man. Like you just hit the tip of the iceberg with the things there are to do down here.
Yeah.
So, you know, we fish year round. You know, sometimes I got to twist old Sharky's arm and say, oh, it's not too rough. We can get out there. Let's go. But, you know, that kind of fishing's not for everybody, but I sure love it. My boys love it. So you can come down anytime and we'll find something to do.
Michael, make sure you say hi to your boys for us and everyone else there at Mill Casino. That was a ton of fun, and I can't wait to get back there and see you again.
All right. We can't wait to have you. Say hi to your crew for me. I hope they feel better.
Poor Robbie. Michael, as always, man, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you again soon. All right, we're going to cut to a break, everyone. When we come back, there is a lot of scuttle going on with high and dry waders right now. There's no question that high and dry are on a lot of people when they're out there chasing ducks and fishing overall. But their newest one really got a lot of attention here in the last week as they made a big announcement. So we're going to kind of throw that out there when we come back from this break. Don't go anywhere.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Yakima Bait, steeped in tradition, innovation, and fishing success. And by Procure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective.